Alright, so take 3 on this review. The camera's died once, I got interrupted once, so we're going to do take number 3 on this review. I should have the specs of this bow down pat by now. There should be no troubles there. You guys know I've had my issues with some companies, warranty program. You also know I buy used bows, just like you guys. I'm not going to break the bank. Well, maybe not all of you guys, but I'm not going to break the bank for, $900, $1,000, even $1,200, $1,300 to get a completely set up brand new bow. I just don't have that kind of money. If you do, great, more power to you. But for me, it doesn't make sense. You walk out of the store, shoot the bow a couple times, it's used, you lose $200. Those are some awful expensive arrows and some awful expensive shots. So for me, I pick up used bows, and Mathews, if that gives you any indication of what bow I'm going to review, doesn't really cater to the archer that's picking up used bows. You lose your warranty. There's a lot of, they don't really sell. It's easy to find discontinued parts, but it's hard to get a used bow and take it to a pro shop or whatnot and have them treat you good or treat you right because you didn't buy the bow from them. And you don't have a Mathews warranty. That being said, I really haven't liked the Mathews bows for a number of different reasons. The cams, solo cams, I'm just not a huge fan of solo cams. There's been a lot of vibration in their risers. So when I picked this bow up, I was very worried that I wouldn't like it. However, I had read several reviews, talked to several people who were not previously Mathews customers. That's important for me, that they were kind of in the same boat that I was. They weren't completely sold on Mathews, but this bow just blew them out of the water. This bow was head and shoulders above the rest. And this bow is the 2014 Mathews Chill R. I would have to say that this is without a doubt the best Mathews I've ever shot. I've shot the Outback, Switchback, Creed, Helium. I've owned the Reason, the Outback, and the Helium. Shot all 3 of those bows extensively. Not convinced. Didn't like them. This Chill R is the best bow Mathews has ever produced. You guys know I'm a huge fan of elite archery. I really like Bowtechs. Like the feel of those bows. This bow is just as good, if not better, than those bows. Let me talk to you about the specs. I'll run through all the specs first for you. It's available in peak weights of 50, 60, and 70 pounds. Not very much adjustability there, but that's another story for another day. Adjustable in draw weights of 23 to 30 inches in half-inch increments. It has got a 6 1/8 inch brace height. It is 33 inches axle to axle. It is 3.95 pounds. And it's available in 75 and 85% let off. Okay, this cam is mod specific, so you have to, if you're going to change draw length, you have to buy a specific module for the bow. You can get 2 different kinds of modules for the bow. You can get the 75 or 85% let off module, but even within that 75 and 85%, you can also get what's called a rock mod or a standard mod. The standard mod provides you with a mushy, soft back wall. Some guys who shoot back tension, you're supposed to shoot back tension according to all the experts, but some guys who shoot back tension really like that mod. I don't know anybody around me or any of my friends that shoot that mod. They all shoot the rock mod because the bow just gives the bow a rock solid back wall, rock solid feel at full draw. No mush in the back wall, consistent anchor point. Me personally, I'm shooting a 29 1/2 inch 85% rock mod on a 60-pound set of limbs that are maxed out. The ABS diode cam is super easy. It's Mathews signature. It's a super awesome cam. There's nothing wrong with the cam. It is a little large, but it is perimeter weighted for the extra speed and stability. It is set up with the, a yoke system kind of set up to eliminate cam lean from the cables. It's not specifically a binary cam like your Bowtech's, but it does help to eliminate some of that cam lean. Like I said, it is module specific. Super easy to tune. I'll bring it closer to you guys so you can see on both cams. They're both the same. They're both tuned with the Mathews standard tuning marks here. You just line up your cable to the tuning marks. Super easy to tune. Here's the perimeter weight here. You got your AVS Dyad logo. And then another thing is you got super deep string grooves, super deep string tracks. Those don't provide any extra wear on the serving, but they certainly provide, some added stability, especially for new shooters or whatnot. If, you're going to torque your bow, especially in a hunting situation, worst thing that could happen, you're at full draw, you go to turn on a deer or turkey or something like that, and you torque the bow without knowing about it, and that string rolls off the cam, and all of a sudden there goes your turkey, there goes your bow, there goes your hunt, there goes everything. There might go your season if you don't have enough money for a new bow or to get this one fixed. So Mathews really does a good job there to provide their customers with some added stability. I've got this bow in the Realtree AP limbs and a black riser finish, and a couple of the Mathews bows that I've seen in the past, there's been some smearing of the camo, less than defined, camo patterns on the bow. The dipping process was, needless to say, less than spectacular. I get it, those are aesthetics, they don't affect how the bow shoots, but this is a really expensive bow, so I want it to look good too, and this bow does. I don't know if Mathews changed their dipping process or whatnot. The limbs are perfect. The black finish on the riser is super durable. I got this bow used, but I've put it through its paces. There's no chipping, no cracking, no scraping. It's a rough, it's kind of a grainy feel to the finish, but really a nice finish. This does have the GeoGrid riser. Super cool looking riser from Mathews. I really like the riser design. I don't know how much it does for functionality. They say it does a lot, but I really haven't noticed anything with regards to the stability of the riser. The bow shoots really good. That's what counts, I guess, right? They do have their black aircraft aluminum limb pockets, oversized limb bolts, and then your limbs are the SC composite limbs from Mathews. Same limb material they've been using for a while. I have the Mathews Focus Grip, I have an Excel Armortech sight, I have a Nap Apache Rest, and I have a Whisker Biscuit. I've shot this bow with and without all these accessories, and the feel of the bow doesn't change hardly at all. There's just no vibration in the bow at all, with or without the accessories. It's super comfortable to shoot, doesn't change the feel, doesn't change the way the bow shoots or nothing like that. So that tells me the bow independently is a very smooth shooting bow. I have been shooting this bow for about a month and a half, so I've got some extensive experience. I say extensive. I've got some pretty decent experience with it. Shooting at a target, and the bow is super accurate. 33 inches is a little bit longer for a hunting bow these days, but I'm a larger frame archer, so it really provides me with that extra stability that I need. Super comfortable to shoot. I do want to draw this bow back for you and shoot it just once. The bow's a little stiff to start and then breaks over into a super comfortable valley. There's no cam lean. It's so hard. I mean, I can torque the bow, but with a standard grip, the way I'm going to be shooting the bow, so easy to hold. 85% let off, and I've got a good half inches of creep. Half inch of creep, 3/4 of an inch of creep. But the back wall is super solid. When this cam breaks over, it doesn't want to pull your arm out, nothing like that. I am going to go ahead and shoot it. I put my front two fingers together when I shoot, and I open my hand up. This bow doesn't move at all. Like, it has the littlest movement of any bow I've ever shot. super dead in the hand. Just a very little bit, a smidge of residual vibration that dies like extremely quick. Like I said, those are great things. They lead to a comfortable bow, and you guys know I like the comfort, I like the ease, I like shootability. But what it all boils down to is accuracy. I've had this bow long enough to know that it is so, that added ease and that added comfort lead to better shooting form, and they make this bow extremely accurate. You know, it wasn't nothing for me to take this bow out, dial it in. I was shooting bullet holes in here in 20 minutes through paper. Took it outside, put a 40-yard target up, dialed it in at 20 yards, and bam, I shot at 40 yards, and it was just performing flawlessly. Really doing a good job. So this bow will reach out and touch them. You know, I plan to, unless something changes, and things change very often for me. I love to try out new bows, you guys know that. I plan to shoot this bow for hunting season 2015. You know, I've got it dialed in, shooting really good with it. I'm not shooting very much because you know, summer 3D, all that stuff, but I'm dialed in with this bow. It's extremely comfortable to shoot. The draw cycle is a little stiff on the front end. You know, it almost reminds me of PSE. You know, that stiff dual cam draw cycle on the front end, but it levels out. It balances out to a super smooth back half of the draw cycle, and there's almost no valley. You can't even tell the valley's there because it's so smooth when the bow pulls over and breaks over. And that let off, I mean, you could just hold it all day long. It's not quite the same let off as an Elite, but it's got the back wall of an Elite. You know, you guys know I stack these bows up to the best bows that I've ever shot. The Elite are some of the best bows I've ever shot, and this bow just stacks right up with them. In fact, I'm keeping this bow. I like it that much. I really do like this bow. So if you guys get a chance, I know I haven't been a huge Mathews fan in the past, but this bow's, you know, certainly got me on the Mathews bandwagon. I really like this Chill R. I'm just going to bring it up for one more close-up, and then we'll end the video. Show you the limb graphics. Super cool limb graphics. Super cool riser graphics. Your focus grip. New diet again. Thanks guys for watching. Like, subscribe, please leave some comments. Keep it clean on the comment line. I appreciate it guys. Thanks, have a great day.